Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Beyond. On a side note from the Genosis palaver that's currently going on, Elite and Frontier have turned out and released another post to the forum. And it's more good news, I'm afraid. Yes, board hopping is to be cancelled. Yes, folks, your ears are not deceiving you. Frontier has got its act together and is actually sorting out the mission server by implementing a dedicated mission server. This post came out from Will Flanagan recently, dictating what was going to be happening with the game going forward. So let's break it down, because that post was a bit of an eye test, and I want to try and understand it a bit more. So how are they going to do this? Well, they're going to implement a dedicated mission server. Yeah, I know. I love a bit of dramatic music. So what exactly is board hopping before we start getting into it? Well, board hopping is where you perform a task. For example, I don't know, go and shoot some skimmers. Board hop. And there's the mission respawned for you straight away. Or you may want to do a mission in a station. You find a cherry mission for like so many 100 million. You accept it for like, I don't know, 16 items to be delivered to a certain port. You board hop, you come out, you go from open into solo mode, for example. The mission's respawned. Double bubble. Okay, now some commanders use it, some commanders don't. Some of the money-making schemes used it, but let's be fair, these money-making schemes, the skimmer missions, and all the rest of it, they've been gradually decreased over time. And, you know, making money in the game, other than doing it the legitimate way, has been more and more difficult. There are less and less exploits out there. Any exploits have been what's been left over by old builds that have been put in via the patches, where you might see the resurgence of Rubigo mines, or you might see the resurgence of skimmer missions, and you know, they come onto YouTube, they're there for a day or so, Frontier goes, oh Christ, what am I doing? And it gets patched straight away. So effectively, it is a game exploit they're getting rid of, and it's a bit of a yin and yang as to whether it's a good or a bad thing. And commanders need to decide whether or not it's a good or a bad thing. It certainly comes on the tail end of a week, exactly 7 days from where we got told about other items happening with the Elite Dangerous game from Frontier. What's happening with Chapter 4, and then obviously beyond that, we've had the thing with the Gnosis as well. But anyway, let's get into exactly what they're going to do with the board hopping. Okay, it starts off. Greetings, commanders. Nice, happy, trying to put you at ease. In the next chapter of Beyond 3.3, we will be implementing and migrating mission data to a new separate server. While this mainly affects the back end of the game, you will see some changes to missions in-game. As it stands, missions are on a shared server with other elements of the game. This has the risk of problems with missions causing outages and stability issues for the rest of the game if there are technical hiccups. Well, okay, no one likes hiccups. He continues, so what are the benefits we will see by moving missions to their own separate server? So any issue generated by missions which can cause a server outage or stability problems will no longer result in players disconnecting. Instead, the missions will be unavailable for a period of time, probably when they update it on the fly. If such issues do occur, the previous servers will be able to act as a backup, offering a better opportunities to recover game content as quickly as possible. Fair enough, they're able to fix the missions on the fly if there is an issue. He states, we may see a slight decrease in mission board loading times. Okay, missions will now be consistent across all game modes, solo, open and private group. So that's it. So your ability to go board hopping to redo your missions, gone, deader, kaput, okay? But it continues as well, it's a bit of a long press release. It is also worth noting that as a result of a dedicated mission server, there will be removal, significant reduction of the method of refreshing mission boards by logging in and out of the game. Board flipping, while we understand this is a practice used by some players, and there's an asterisk there which we'll come to in a minute, this was never intended as a use of the mission system. Now, they did some stats on this, and they found that only 2.8% of players use that process. Well, do you know what? If there's an exploit going on, I bet you that percentage would raise quite significantly. I mean, how many times do you think that would have raised with the skimmer missions? I reckon everyone would have been doing it to get that sort of money, and the sort of combat kills as well to increase your rank. Anyway, that's what they've said. That's their official stats. He continues. Even though there is a small number of players doing this, we will increase the credit payout by 10% across the board, so all players using this mission boards as intended will see a net profit. As a result of this, some mission reward choices will see boosted influence, reputation and rank gains, so there is a positive. As always, when it comes to missions, we will continue to review and balance them where needed. So there is the sweetener. Influence increases. Increases in reputation. And then also increases in rank gains. But they can balance them. He then concludes that this is ultimately a healthy step for all overall services and in-game experience. And if you have any questions, put it on the forum post below. Well, let's have a little think about this now. I mean, given the update that came out from Frontier in Chapter 4 and what's happening beyond Chapter 4, the decreasing content, other content being added in, is this game going to go pay to play? And if so, getting rid of these ways of subverting in-game mechanics would indeed be a good enabler to go pay to play. So you're removing any exploits that could be obviously exploited within the system. Or if they finally got their act together, got enough money for, I don't know, Amazon Web Server credits, and have got another server together. I don't know, what do you think in the comments? This has been Ricardo, and talking about the implementation of a dedicated mission server and the end of board hopping within Elite Dangerous. Let me know in the comments. If you haven't done so, do a like and subscribe, hit the notification, ring the bell so you get notifications, and I'll see you soon for more videos in the Elite Dangerous series.